What's up, everybody? I'm Nate,
I'm Alan.
and we're back for another episode of World History with us.
So today we're going to be talking about the causes of the Boxer. Well, that's where we're going to start off. We're going to start off with the Boxer Rebellion causes, and then we're going to go more into the artifacts and some of the the ancient things that were found at that scene or written or photographed during that time.
Yeah, specifically some primary sources we'll dive into. But just for some context to start, the Boxer Rebellion, which is a rebellion/war in China, which occurred right at the start of the 19th century, or 20th century, right at the start of 1900s, and it's a response to foreign influence and exploitation of the Chinese.
Right.
So the Boxers, just for some context, are a group of peasants, right? And they're called the Boxers because of their martial art style, which is boxing, right? And you want to talk about some of the reasons why we need a rebellion?
Well, so basically what's going on at this time is you've got a lot of foreign powers, right? And they're kind of recognizing that you've got people like, you've got nations like Europe and the United States, right? And these people are trying to come in basically and colonize China, right? It's during that time of industrialization and imperialism, right? And so China, the peasants, moreover, they need to find a way to fight back, right? You're not going to sit there and get colonized,
Yeah.
right?
And so for our first primary source we're going to discuss today, it's actually a story. It's a story of a messenger on a journey from Peking to Tientsin. And now this messenger is carrying a crucial letter from the minister. Now what this letter entails is kind of what is going on, these terrible atrocities and violence is going on in Peking. And so this is a brilliant primary source because you kind of see the culture of China. They can have to conceal the letter in a straw hat at some point.
Oh,
They're
wow.
seeking divine guidance, right, from the gods, which is, you'll see one of the consequences of the Boxer Rebellion. China is a very religious place with a lot of their
For sure.
culture and laws and practices are based off of religious ideas. So you kind of see that religious there. The messenger goes past a flooded canal and they witness the destruction of a Catholic village, right? By the
Okay, so they
Boxers.
cross the bridge, right?
Yeah,
And that's
so,
when, okay.
yeah. And now the Boxers are not saints themselves. They're causing violence. They're causing uprisings. So we're kind of just getting an idea of this like war zone that's going on. And then upon reaching Tientsin, the protagonist of our story, the primary source writer, provides insight to whoever he's delivering the message to about the robbery, the arrests, and the negotiations with the officers. So, and then he comes back home. That's the whole story. It's nothing special happens, but you can kind of get an insight onto what's going on during this time of the Boxer Rebellion and how bad the conditions on the ground were.
That's great. That's a great primary source. We're actually going to speed this up a little bit because I'm running out of storage on my phone. But for this next one, we got a photograph. It takes place in the 1900s. It's the U.S. Marines who are about to be dispatched to China, and they're actually barricading. They're fortifying a barricade on the Great Wall, right? So we have some invaders, some Europeans that are trying to, from all different countries, trying to enter through the Great Wall, and you have Boxers that are defending this area, and the U.S. is basically it's getting a buy into China, right? It's getting that free pass into there, right? By saying, okay, we're going to help you, we're going to support you, we're going to be on the inside fortifying your nation, right? And I guess they worked with the Boxers at this time, and I think about 50 of them died just for this particular mission. But you know, I mean, it was a great power play, I guess you could say, by the United States.
And I think what this picture kind of also demonstrates, which is really important to talk about in the Boxer Rebellion, is this kind of struggle for power, right? At the turn of the century, about the world is changing, right? We have industrialization, we have technology advancing rapidly.
Yeah.
Who's going to come out on top of the global powers? And we kind of see building up to the world wars. Which countries put themselves in positions to succeed and who doesn't? And China is on the brink here. This is what's so important about the Boxer Rebellion. They're on the brink of being a world powerhouse, which they are today, or not. And without the Boxer Rebellion,
right.
we could be living in a completely different world if China isn't one of the main world powers.
Gotta modernize, right?
All right, now for our third primary source, thank you for taking a quick recess with us. We have Alan taking the cartoon, as you can see in front of you.
For sure. Okay, let's just get that. Nice, it's all balanced. Okay, so this is actually a very interesting one that we've got here. So there's an antique, right? It's it's a nice, like, I don't know if it's a figure. It's a figure of some, I'm guessing, important Chinese person, right? And basically what that is somebody found this or stole this this piece right here, and after the rebellion, it was sold in some Berlin market. So what people have assumed over these years is that it was stolen during this rebellion as a time, as like saying, like, oh, we want some piece of your culture, just during all the riots or whatever, right? So they stole this, and then it was sold after that fact, after everything was said and done, as if it was some kind of like conspiracy or something. And it's just, I don't know. I feel like that's very interesting. I mean, you can see the wrinkles on this piece here. You know, it's definitely been through a lot, and it's kind of interesting to wonder, you know, how many places has this thing seen, and who did what to get it.
Right.
You know,
it's so important to note the fact that it's not just one European country. It's almost 8 of them. I think if we could pull it up right here, which countries were involved, it's an unbelievable amount. We have, right, sorry for that brief shortage right there, but we have Japan, right, importantly, the US,
yeah.
France, the United Kingdom, Austria, Hungary, and Italy. So we have multiple European countries all fighting to kind of get the upper hand
powers at this time.
Yeah, get the
These
upper hand in
superpowers.
China, get as much land as possible, get as much
Right.
resources. And we kind of see along the lines during the time some cultural,
Disputes.
yeah, and kind of cultural sharing from those interactions between each other. So yeah, that's our third primary source. And now our fourth and final primary source is
Take it home first.
is a political cartoon here. So as you see in front of you, right, we have the European powers, right? You can see Italy, you can see Germany, you can see the United States, Uncle Sam right there. You can see Belgium. They're all sitting at the table, and in the middle of the table, we have a plate of food. Now, the plate of food, as you can see on it, says Chinese indemnity. Now, this is huge because the European powers are thinking, okay, we're gonna eat. We're all gonna get a slice. We're all gonna get a slice of this.
We all get some.
But, you know, you can see from the sword up top, the awakening of China, this idea that, okay, this dynastic system we've had for the last 2,000 years is not getting the job done. This is what the Boxers realized, what the peasants, what the uprisings all realized. We have to change who we are as a nation, our identity as a nation, our ideologies. And so that is the sword saying, no, we're not gonna let this happen. We're not gonna be colonized. We're gonna get our stuff together. We have to throw out the old Chinese government. We have to start the republic, right? So after the Boxer Rebellion, actually, what China does is they get rid of the dynastic rule and adopt a republic, First Chinese Republic. And so this is kind of how they respond. This is how they persevere through these times and come out far stronger than they were in the past. So this is one of the most important political cartoons maybe in history, because, I mean, let's think about China
this
now.
Is a great source. Yeah,
Like,
no. The development that they've made since this time period to where they are now, where they're
Unbelievable.
creating AI and they've got AI robots that look like human beings, like the technological advancements in these past 200 years. And because of this right
And
here,
it's
I
not
mean,
even
that's
200 years. It's 2023. We're recording this video. This is 1900 when this picture, around that time, around 1900.
yeah.
In 120 years since dropping Confucianism in terms of their exams and government testing, like based off of Confucianism and very old traditional Chinese fundamental ideas to where they are now as the leading scientific global engineering country of the world. It's scary to think about at the pace they're developing, where they'll be in 100 years, in 20.
That's right. Yeah, think
21,
now.
2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. I mean, it's a scary sight. And I think, just to recap, kind of China and the importance of the Boxer Rebellion truly cannot be understated, because this is a uprising that seems small in scale, but when you realize the global significance and the consequences of
For sure.
a rebellion of peasant boxers, it's unbelievable. I don't know, you have anything to add, Alan?
I think that's pretty much it. There's not much more you can say from zero to hero, really. That's China.
Yeah. So thank you for watching today, and I hope you enjoyed this podcast, and God bless.
Signing off.